Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Dakota's Political Circle, and I have some important news for you guys. So, if you know the situation with Bob Casey, Bob Casey, ever since it was basically decided by most news outlets that he lost the Senate race and there was basically no path to victory for him, basically now he does not want to concede. Like, he literally hasn't been wanting to concede whatsoever ever since. It's been mathematically impossible for Bob Casey to win. And even now, at this point, when there's literally a recount being triggered, he still will not concede. And also at the same time, illegal ballots are being counted in Pennsylvania. All sorts of stuff that's just crazy. But at the same time, even with the illegal ballots being counted, Bob Casey still has zero shot at winning this race. And he is basically trying to put himself as a dictator at this point and just show that he thinks he's basically one of the elites. And that he, no matter what, even if he loses the race, he can't go down. It just shows how idiotic some Democrats are, just like him, especially ones with tenure like him. But I do want to read this article real quick for you, just to talk about it, and also show you some other news that just shows you why Bob Casey there's just no path to victory for him. And obviously, Dave McCormick is definitely, no matter what, will be the senator for Pennsylvania. Okay, here it is. So Bob Casey's not giving up on retaining his Senate seat. The three-term Democrat is currently locked in a tight race with Dave McCormick, trailing the Republican by over 29,000 votes as of 4 p.m. on Wednesday. Now remember, that is a small amount of votes, but at the same time, it's literally mathematically impossible for Bob Casey to win, even ever since Election Day. Literally, so many news outlets already called that. And then the Pennsylvania Secretary of Commerce announced that unofficial results in the race have triggered a statewide recount. So there will be a recount, but most likely the recount isn't really going to affect much because usually recounts, unless it's like within 5,000, 2,000, you're really not going to win on the other side. So most likely it really doesn't matter. But yeah, it's because it's within a 0.5 margin. That's why it's going to trigger a recount in the state. And then in a live press conference, they talked about the recount, and they talked about how many ballots are left, like 80,000 left to be counted, 60,000 provisional ballots. And then during recount, counties will use a different method to tabulate the results, which is kind of iffy. It's a little bit weird. The deadline for counties to certify the election is November 25th, which is November 19th as of right now, about to be November 20th. So basically, they have to certify the election by the 27th. The results of the recount will be published online on the 27th. And then in a statement, McCormick said Senator-elect McCormick's lead is insurmountable, which the AP made clear in the calling of the race. And basically, they're just talking about it. And they said a recount is a waste of time and taxpayer money. But basically, they're just talking about how a recount's not worth it. And then I don't know if Bob Casey responded at all. I don't think so. Yeah, they didn't waive an automatic recount, which makes sense because Bob Casey thinks he's going to win, and Casey has not made a public appearance since the election. He said the Democratic process was born in Pennsylvania, and that process will play out. That's all he said on X. And then meanwhile, McCormick is moving forward as a declared victor, which makes sense because most news outlets has already called Bob Casey the winner. I think the only one that really hasn't is the New York Times. And it makes sense because the New York Times always does that. They're always the latest to the party. But then it says Casey's campaign has said it's been waiting for outstanding votes from around the state, from mail-in ballots to overseas to military votes. But that's not going to make up that many votes. It's just not going to happen. But basically, that's basically what's happening. And if I show you right here, I'll show you an exact reason why Bob Casey has no chance at being able to win this race. So if you look right here it shows Bob Casey would have to win 100% of the remaining ballots in order to win. The New York Times has McCormick up 17,352. So basically, Bob Casey would need to win almost every single one of these voters from the votes that are left to be able to actually win the race. And if he can't do that, he is not going to win the seat. And even with illegal ballots being counted and all sorts of stuff like that, it doesn't matter. Bob Casey is going to lose. He would have to win every single aspect of these ballots plus illegal ballots on top of that. So unless every single one of these ballots has Bob Casey, he is completely screwed right now. So there's literally no chance Bob Casey can win as of right now. And so basically, McCormick is basically the nominee and is going to be the senator for Pennsylvania no matter what, at any cost. Even if a recount is triggered, no matter what, McCormick is going to be the new senator for the state of Pennsylvania. And just to show you right here, I just want to show you how it's looking with the state of Pennsylvania right here. It just shows you, like, look at this. It's a very, very small lead, but he is doing a great job. David McCormick has won so many counties and did a great job. I mean, he almost won, like, certain counties that you just wouldn't expect. Like, I believe he even won, if I look here, he might have actually won a county that's very surprising. If I remember the county correctly, it's somewhere in here. It's Bucks County. That's the one I'm looking for here. I believe it's Bucks County. I don't know why this is in the way, but I'm looking for it. But if I cannot find it, regardless, I do think he is winning that county. I think it's called Bucks County. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, but I do think he is actually winning the county I'm thinking of. I think it's behind this. But either way, I do think he did a massive job. I mean, look, he did really, really well in Erie County. That's surprising. He did really well in a lot of these blue portions. I know he didn't do well in like Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, but at least he did a really, really great job overall. So Dave McCormick is just showing how much of a juggernaut he really is, especially in a state like Pennsylvania that you just did not expect Bob Casey to lose. And I'll actually show you right here. Obviously, McCormick's up by 2, but just to show you how well McCormick did. Bob Casey was almost up by 2 in the average, and McCormick just came out of nowhere and is winning the race, and is going to win the race. No matter what, he's going to win this race regardless. So if this does end up how it's going to be, McCormick's going to win. And it just shows how much of a great candidate he really is. I mean, the closest one to these results was literally Trafalgar, and that's an R group. That's literally an R-rated pollster. So it's very surprising to see. And even Atlas, a massive pollster that's really great at the presidential level, had Casey +2. So it just shows how much McCormick is just a juggernaut in the state so far. So I do think he's going to do a great job. And we will have 53 Senate seats when it's all said and done. Now, I will make a Senate video at some point. I'm mainly just waiting on the New York Times to call this race. Most likely by the 27th. I know McCormick is going to be called for the state of Pennsylvania, and then I will talk about all of the Senate races in a Senate video, just like I did with presidential and House races. So I will be doing that. But that's the main reason I haven't done that yet. But I do know McCormick is definitely going to get the job done and be able to win this race, because basically Bob Casey has 0 chance at winning it, and the only way he can win it is if he goes through courts and basically commits election fraud. But I did want to talk to you guys about that today. I knew this is probably a very, very short video. I wouldn't say short, but this is a pretty short video. But I do hope you guys enjoyed it. And sorry for the cuts in the video. I had to make a cut because I had low space on my computer. But anyway, guys, I just want to let you know about future content that's happening soon. I'm actually making a big video for all of Trump's cabinet picks. I'm going to grade them, each cabinet pick, and then I'm also going to say how I feel about them. I'll actually have a document pulled up just to tell you how I feel about each one. And I did make like certain descriptions and stuff, but I won't like read over them completely. But I will give my points and stuff just to tell you how I feel about every single person that Trump picked. When it is all said and done. I'm mainly waiting on Trump's cabinet to be officially done, but he is getting there. He's getting pretty close to finishing up his cabinet picks. And when that does end up happening, once I get that all typed out, I would definitely be bringing it for you guys. And then also my Senate video, I'll be doing the in-depth review on the Senate. Obviously, if you look right here, I'm mainly just waiting on this race. Once this Pennsylvania race is officially called on the New York Times, I will do an in-depth review on all of the races that went through. And you obviously can tell that I will be talking about some certain ones that really could have went to Republicans. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to tell you about this because, I mean, this is the only thing I could think of to talk about right now. I mean, it is a big thing. Bob Casey is basically being a martyr right now. And basically, he has zero shot at being able to win. It's literally not even possible. He's just being an idiot. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a very short video, but I did really want to talk to you about this stuff because I didn't really have much to talk about this week, so I really just wanted to talk about this. But when I have the chance, I will definitely do those videos I talked about. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.